Hello, my name is Heidi, and in this video I have my husband here with me, and we are going to be talking about why we moved from Wisconsin to Florida.
Yeah, we are. Tell the backstory?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Okay. Should I go or
I'll
you want to
start first. So I moved with my family to Wisconsin. I'm from Honduras, Central America, but I moved to Wisconsin when I was 12 years old. So I've lived in Wisconsin most of my life. And then 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, we moved with my husband to Florida.
Probably 2 years ago. It was like 2 years ago, almost exactly.
So we moved to Florida. He is from Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin. Small town.
Small town.
We're both
small town people.
Fond du Lac, hour north of Milwaukee about.
Yeah.
And so we got married, we lived separately, and we wanted to live together because that's what most married people do. Most. And the housing market in Wisconsin
was horrible.
Atrocious. Way too much money that they wanted for a place. Places were going before they even hit like Zillow and all the apps. She is now a realtor, by the way, so if you want a house down in Florida, let her know. But,
yes, because that can be frustrating, which is what we found. When we saw the houses on Zillow or on Trulia, they were already under contract, or they were already sold.
And going for over asking.
Yes.
Before anyone even knew. Like, I don't know how people found out about them, but they did.
Well, they probably had a realtor that was like working with them and sending them the listing from the MLS, not from, waiting for Trulia, which is what we were waiting on, Trulia or Zillow. They were getting the listings from the MLS right to their customers, which is what your realtor should do.
Yeah. So we were looking on Zillow just randomly because we were always thought the idea of living closer to the beach and being somewhere warm would be nice because we hate the cold, and we lived in Wisconsin. So if you know anything about Wisconsin,
it gets cold.
Winter is terrible, like negative the temperature some days. Shoveling the driveway, scraping, the windshield off, all that stuff that we don't deal with anymore. Mm-hmm. And then we were looking on Zillow and we saw, wow, we like how these places look more. They have tile and, not as much carpet, and just the style was better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we both like the Spanish type homes.
And modern. Those are kind of
modern, yeah. And in Wisconsin, or like in the Midwest, a lot of the houses have the siding, and I've never been a fan of that myself. So.
I don't mind siding as much as you do, I think, but I prefer whatever they call it down here, stucco or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we got to looking, and the prices were better here.
Mm-hmm. Much better.
Yeah. So then I'm trying to think what the next step was. We just basically
came here. We traveled to Orlando.
When did we travel? Remember?
Right after our wedding.
Right after our wedding. Yeah, as part of our honeymoon. It was like a trip / house hunting just to see if it was an idea that we wanted to actually do.
Mm-hmm. Before actually moving down, we came here, looked at different areas, different neighborhoods, see if we liked them. And then that's when we made our decision.
Yeah. And I think for us, a big thing too was are the houses really this nice in person? Mm-hmm. And do they actually look this way? And because pictures can be deceiving sometimes.
Yeah, they can look either much better or much worse.
Yeah. So I think that was a factor. I think we were sick of the cold, and the state income tax break, I think was not a huge thing, but it was a factor. It was not the top 1 or 2 things, but it was probably top 5. Stuff to do.
Yeah, so when we first moved down, we thought we wanted to be in a bigger city just because we're both from a small town, and every time we wanted to do something, even when we were dating, we had to drive sometimes 15-20 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes to a bigger city so that we could actually go out and do stuff. So recently married, we were okay, we want a lot of stuff to do. We want to be able to go to a mall and be able to shop for things, because in our town, our mall, it's currently shut down.
Now it's no longer a mall,
But it was going pretty much out of business when we were still there.
There was 5 stores left in there.
So that was also a factor of why we picked the city that we did.
And I think honestly too, for me, I think for you too, the idea of having a place in Florida that, now family can come visit us down here and have it as almost like a getaway. I don't think it was obviously a main thing, because you are kind of leaving your family to begin with. But at the same time, I think the idea of that's kind of exciting.
When we started dating, we would talk about like moving to Florida, and we were watching like a lot of HGTV and House Hunting and Paradise, whatever those shows were called.
Yeah, and I think before we even started dating, both of us separately kind of had always like this idea of, well, what if we moved? I always said I want to move somewhere warmer, but it's like I'm not going to go there by myself.
Right.
So since we both kind of had that idea of, you know, and then we would watch HGTV and stuff and Beachfront Bargain Hunt and all these different shows, and the idea seems even more appealing.
Yeah, the idea was always there. So like we kind of were like, well, let's do it now. We don't have any kids right now, so it's just the two of us. Let's give it a try, and if it doesn't work out, we can always go back home.
yeah, that was definitely a big factor for sure. Yeah, and I think also too, a couple other things I just thought of. For one, I think seeing the people on HGTV doing it and just seeing like more like of a kind of documentary style of them making the move, like, okay, you can kind of see yourself doing it a little more. And then I think the other thing was watching a lot of YouTube. Yeah. So like this video might help you, just like before we moved down, you know, I had one friend that lived in the Orlando area where we ended up moving, but besides that, it was just a lot of like research, looking up, you know, on the different websites, like what these cities are like and the scores for crime and, you know,
watching a lot of like driving videos too of people just driving around the city and just kind of like taking you around the city, which is what we're trying to do with this channel. So you can actually experience, because maybe you can't come to Florida before you buy your house, or maybe you can come but you're only here for so long, so like you can't really experience the whole city or all the neighborhoods that you might be interested in. So that's kind of like what we're trying to do, like take you around before you come, or if you left already, like so you can go back and see the city. Yeah,
and if you guys got requests for areas you want to see, especially like on the Gulf Coast area, let us know. We can help you out.
Leave us a comment.
The Southwest Gulf Coast mainly.
Yes.
But yeah, I think, we watched a lot of I think surprisingly, so I think it was very helpful to see kind of like some of the videos that kind of more like advertise the city and say, you know, top 5 things of why it's great, kind of like we're doing with this video, like why we decided to move to Florida, or the pros and cons. But I also think equally, I think if not more helpful, was just the videos we watched where people were just driving around, because you're kind of just being able to actually see a real life, real thing with, you know, real world thing without their perception being put on you, or just their thoughts, and you just kind of, okay, this is what it actually looks like, and you can make your own judgment.
Right. Because what we like, just because we like a city doesn't mean that you're going to like it or are perfect. It's not like you're perfect. So whatever you're looking for, you might find on this channel.
Yeah, which, you know, I think, because we both do YouTube, we have a couple different channels. Like, I think for her, like being a realtor, like we realize like sometimes you watch these realtor channels and you can tell they're trying to push a city on you, or an area, or a house or whatever. And I think we wanted this to be different for it to be more just like, look,
like actual helpful.
Yeah, whatever you like, you like. We're not going to try to steer you. Like, we'll say if we like something, but at the same time, like, try to give you some of those unfiltered type videos where it's just driving around. Take a look.
Right.
But hopefully this channel helps with that, kind of like it did for us.
Yeah. I mean, we watched a lot of videos before even moving down to Florida. And even when we were already in Florida, we watched a lot more videos to see what cities we liked before we picked the one that we fell in love with, which that's going to be another video. I'll leave the link in the comments when that video is available. But having those videos available to us, and I mean that's free, you know, like you don't have to take a trip, drive 2 hours to go see it in person. If you do like it, then yes, you do go see it, which is what we ended up doing. Yeah,
and I don't know that we would have made that trip had it not been for all those YouTube videos.
Right. Because like, how do you even find out about those small towns? You know, like the Gulf Coast towns. There's a lot of little towns on the Gulf Coast that you have no idea they're there. Yeah,
and it's crazy how much has changed in 2 years. Like, I feel like we know not everything, but a lot about the Gulf Coast.
Yeah. Well, and it helped that we took kind of like a road trip on the Gulf Coast, because we wanted to see where we wanted to end up.
Yeah. And a lot of those videos are on this channel.
Yeah. So a lot of those videos are literally us checking out the cities, checking out the towns.
For ourselves.
Yeah. So stay tuned so you can see the videos of why we decided to move out of the city that we moved from and to our new city. why we picked that city, and
Yeah, the first Florida city. And
why we picked the first Florida city, and why we ended up moving out of that city into the new one.
yes.
Stay tuned.
Secret. I think they know if they've been on the channel though which city we're in now, right?
No.
No? Okay, never mind.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we haven't hyped up the city we're in too much.
Maybe we should start.
Yeah.
Because it's beautiful.
Yeah, we love this city. But again, different strokes for different folks.
Right. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and
Subscribe.
turn all notifications on.
And hit the like button. Oh, and I'm going to do this for her because she never does. If you're interested in the area and want to know anything about it, or are interested in moving or selling a place, she is a realtor. Right here at the bottom, she will have her phone number to call or text, and her email if you want to email. You got to sell your services a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.